Hello students, welcome to Young Cubs. We are doing the chapter of endocrine system and adolescence. Okay, we've finished the endocrine system completely and we had started with adolescence yesterday. And in adolescence, we had covered the physical changes that occur in a child, in an adolescent. We had also spoken about the menstrual cycle. We've also spoken about fertilization and non-fertilization of the ova. Okay, so after the physical changes, we are going to see the mental changes and the problems related to the adolescent age. So, what are the kind of mental changes that an adolescent goes through? So during adolescence, children, the child develops his own identity. The adolescent develops his own identity. Okay, they want to become a doctor, an engineer, an actor, something like that. So they kind of want to become somebody and want to establish themselves as somebody. And whereas in the process of doing that, they kind of find interest in a lot of things. So they sometimes like being playing football, so they want to become a football. They sometimes like watching YouTube, and like the whole idea of making content. So they want to sometimes do that. So they kind of think that they can become everything, and in the whole bargain, if somebody sits down and asks them, what do you want to become when you want to grow up, and they are confused. So this age is they are actually struggling between their identity versus the role confusion that they go through. Okay, however, during this stage, the mental changes that occur is for better. Since they become from a child, they are becoming an adult. It's a phase, it's a transition phase. They tend to grasp and learn better. Okay, if the learning is in the right direction, if the learning is more focused on studies, on learning an art or learning a particular game, it is good grasping. But apparently, if there is anything wrong that's going on in their environment, like some friend of yours is picking up fights, or if somebody is picking up is developing a habit of robbing, or is getting into some kind of addiction, they grasp that if they enjoy it, it is negative for their personality. Okay, they understand emotions better understanding of emotions. Okay, if you they also develop a liking for the opposite sex at this time. If a boy sees a girl crying, would want to go and give her that understanding as to why is she crying. Or if a boy picks up a fight, okay, a girl would want to go and speak to the boy as to why are you doing so. Okay, they kind of then in case if a parent tries to speak to them, looking at their monetary conditions, or however what is right and what is wrong, and the behavioral aspect of not being aggressive, okay, they understand it better. At this age, speaking to them works. Now, how long a child retains the speech, or how long the child retains the lesson being taught to them in terms of moral lessons, okay, it totally depends on them, okay, and their environment. But however, they grasp faster, they learn faster, they learn better, and moreover, they understand emotions as well a little better. They just don't think about themselves like they used to used to think when they were a child. I want this, I don't know if mama has money or no. But here, if you walk up to them and I'll tell them, see, today, mama's salary is not in, or something like that. Okay, they will say, they will wait. Okay, when your salary comes, you can buy this thing for me then. So they give a better understanding. Okay, they tend to also behave independently. Like if you tell them to clean up their room, they do it. Okay, if they have to do their homework, they actually will sit down and work upon it. Okay, and then they also have a better decision making powers. Okay, if you make them analyze things, see, your exams are nearing up, you shouldn't be going for a party, or you can go for a birthday party provided you finish your syllabus, or you go there for some time, have fun, and come back and focus again. So that's when it helps. Then they sit and decide, yeah, this is right and this is wrong. Okay, if there's a test the very next day, the child apparently sits down, no, I cannot go for a football play or for a swim in the evening, might as well I just take this time out. So they have better decision making. This is a good boy, I should be hanging around with him or no. Okay, because if he falls into problem, I will fall. So that they decide, no more associating with this boy. Okay, or a girl, deciding whether it's late at night, I'm not I my parents will scold me, so they promptly, proactively tell their friends, I'm sorry, I will not. So they make better decisions. The decision making capability develops. Children, adolescents, amidst all of these changes, the physical, the mental, the emotional, okay, selecting their peers and everything, it is a very, very critical period. And during this period, the boys and the girls not only experience a spurt of physical growth, but also a rapid emotional or psychological change as well. They become too conscious about their growth of their body, how they become suddenly tall, how the girls develop the curves in their body. So they are, so everything is very, very complex as to what is happening. Why have suddenly so many changes been occurred in their body? So they become too conscious of their body, of their growth, of their habits, of their liking or disliking of something. So they become extremely conscious. So they become very, very hesitant to speak to people. They become shy. They become conscious of, the way they're delivering their speech. They go through a lot of problems in self discovery, kind of a thing. Most of the time, they go on finding faults in themselves and develop an inferiority complex. On the other hand, if you win something, or you're good at something, they may also develop a superiority complex, and the stage of where they kind of start dominating people and their peers, their friends, everybody. And they spend a lot of time in their grooming, since there's a over secretion. In case if there's over secretion of sebum and sweat, they tend to start developing dandruff in their hair. They tend to start getting acne and pimples. So they get very conscious. Suddenly a child, imagine, he's so he comes back from play, and you keep telling the child, come on, wash your hands, take a wash your feet and all that. And now suddenly the child or the adolescent, waking up, goes for a bath, applies a lot of perfume, moving out, wants to dress up in the best of his dresses and shoes. All these grooming changes will be observed. And this is all going on in the mind. Okay, then they may also develop depression. They become too worried about the future, although it is an infant stage to think about the future. Okay, it's too early to think about their future. They are in their 12 and 13, they are in their 7th, 8th grade, and they want to think about what they would become. Too early. Since they have no set goals, they are confused. As I told you, they like everything. Okay, they start fearing, which develops a stage of depression in them. They have a lot of fear of rejection. They fear the rejection. If something, if you're submitting a project and the teacher doesn't like it, so they fear that they become anti-social, or they go against that particular teacher or the particular way or style. Okay, they may not like a particular way a friend is bringing up their idea in the group or in the project. They just stand up and they just build up a conflict, and then later on they lose out on, they sit back and they get into depression. Okay, scientifically, the cause of depression is the dramatic increase in the hormone levels in the body. The hormone affect the brain that controls the emotions and moods. However, this is a temporary phase that goes away with the increase in age. They become more stabilized in their moods. They become more settled. However, this is a period of mood swings. Too many things going on in their life, children. So here it's because of the huge secretions of hormones. Okay, so mood swings. All right, then. Okay, now children, now when it comes to peer, children feel that the parents are always wrong. Boys and girls most of the time love to stay with their friends. Okay, or love to stay, I would say love to stay with like minds. So apparently their parents are a decade or a generation, or 2 to 3 generations older to them, so they have their ideologies. Those children till 10, who used to listen to their parents, who are really really obedient, now tend to disobey their parents, some to aggressively even rebel. Okay, they find solace, they find happiness in their friends and their fellow colleagues. Okay, the friends who are studying with them or of the same group are known as peers. So at this age, children, selecting your friends, okay, selecting the right kind of people, right kind of friends is utterly important. They can give you the right direction, they can lead you to wrong practices like addictions and stuff like that. Okay, since they feel safe in the group, and they also imitate what others do in their peer group. If somebody has bought a very expensive shoes like an Air Jordan or something like that, the other one comes home, tells the parents, mama, he's bought his father has got him Air Jordans, even I want to buy it. So there's a lot of imitation. If one child starts wearing jerseys like footballers, the others all want to compete, all want to imitate their peers and look as good as or better. So there's a lot of peer to peer competition. Okay, again, if done in the right way, a child apparently makes right kind of decisions, takes the right step ahead. But if wrong, they just go with the flow and get into malpractices. Okay, now then, okay, getting into addiction, this is what happens. everything looks beautiful. They want everything just perfect in their life. And if things are not perfect, they get into depression. If they and that's when they get into addiction, which gives them a high in their mind, which gives them an illusion of things, which helps them to cut off from the reality, hard facts, that sometimes things can go their way and sometimes things will not go their way. So that addiction kind of keeps them away from these dilemmas, these things that they do not like in their life, and it gives them a high. Okay, this is something where in this crucial age, the boys and girls can actually get trapped into bad company and becoming an addict to many bad things. So they have to select their friends judiciously, thoughtfully, and listen to their parents as well, and ponder over things, whether this is that they need to take out time to actually sit and think of what's rather self time is something which is required. Then they need to develop the analysis part of it at this age. See, we just read about the fact that their understanding develops. They give a better understanding if you talk to them. So addiction and parents, it becomes a parent only keeps worrying at this age and can only speak to them. So you're at this stage, okay, bad friends, getting into smoking, they get into vaping, okay, they get into eve teasing. Okay, well, eve teasing is not an addiction, so I will not list it over here. But then eventually, these little amount of drugs, okay, is very very harmful at this particular age, because their body organs are also very tender. Okay, they are growing, new muscles and new cells are being developed in their body. So addiction at this age can become really really problematic in their lifelong run. Okay, after understanding the mental changes that a child goes through, apparently, the secretion of, estrogen and testosterone in boys, there are a lot of secondary growth or secondary sexual characteristics. We've spoken about this earlier, but just then quickly, we can just look at it how these things affect an adolescent. So why do we call it secondary sexual characters? Because they are not intentionally done by hormones. Hormones are secreted for growth, for development of reproductive organs and stuff like that. But in the bargain, there is kind of a side effect, or there is a kind of a secondary sexual characteristic also. So they are not required for the process of reproduction. That's the reason why they are known as secondary sexual characteristics. Okay, the primary ones are exclusive to the individual. Okay, and so secondary sexual characteristics. So in boys, you will eventually see that the boys develop a mustache, they tend to develop a beard, on their face. And in girls, what happens? Enlargement of the breast. The chest area enlarges. Why? Because mammary glands are being developed. Okay, then what happens is a boy kind of develops hair on their chest. So a boy kind of tends to develop or starts getting hair on their chest as well as on their pubic area. Okay, whereas in girls, in fact in boys, even hair grows on their armpits. Yes, in girls, the growth is not there on the chest, but definitely on their armpits and on their pubic area. Not required for reproduction, right? But this happens with the hormones being secreted in our body. Okay, hence, since we are developing hair in our private parts, okay, it becomes quite sweaty out there. It quite kind of then starts smelling. It gives out a bad odor from the body. So for that matter, adolescents have to have develop a habit of personal hygiene. And personal hygiene not only caters to taking care of or be keeping a proper clean body, but it's a proper habit. Food, they have to develop proper food habits, so that certain foods aggravate the sebum secretion in your body. So that's the reason why you need to have proper and safe food. Then they need to have a proper lifestyle. So these things come under personal hygiene, because overall it's about the well-being of the body. Okay, so children need to have fresh food. Do not have stale or street food, which is where the oil, where the things are being fried in the open, and there is air pollution. Cars are moving around and the exhausts are giving out harmful gases. These gases may be absorbed by the oil and stuff like that. So this is not good food. Okay, and they should eat good home cooked food, fresh food, warm hot food, because it avoids bacteria coming into them. Bacteria, fungus, they prevent. Hot and fresh food have minimal bacteria and fungi, which can cause ailments in your body. Okay, since your organs are growing, since the cells are still maybe, some cells are still maybe naive, so this is the reason why fresh food is recommended. Then in case if you're storing food, store it properly in the refrigerator. Okay, and most important, avoid fast food and junk food. Very important, children. Okay, in proper lifestyle, children need to have a habit of good sleep, at least 8 hours 7 hours of good sleep, and maybe a small 1 hour siesta in the morning, in the afternoon. Okay, since you've worked hard a lot, from morning to afternoon, studying, a lot of mental strain at this age, a 1 hour siesta is good in the afternoons. Okay, then proper exercise. You cannot sit in front of the screen and keep bloating up. Yeah, so at this age, children tend to become a little conscious as well of their looks, of their body growth, and you don't want them to grow, or you don't want to grow fat and abnormally. Okay, then avoid long hours of sitting. Okay, after every half an hour or so, children can get up, take a stroll around the house, stretch a little, and sit back again to studies. Okay, avoid long hours of TV, avoid long hours of screen, avoid long hours of sitting, you know. And then you need to do a lot of physical activities. Go down, play, jog, okay, do a little housework. Okay, clean up your room, clean up your cupboard, so that gives a variety during the week, and then you physically move as well. Okay, avoid smoking, alcohol, and drugs. Very important. That's the reason why it is important that is the reason why parents are always worried. It is important to select the right kind of friends, right way of distinguishing good from bad. Cleanliness. Okay, wash your hands, feet, Okay, whenever you go from out, and after COVID, you everybody definitely needs to take a wash the moment they come from outside. Everybody had been really scared. So they put COVID times put us into good habits, right? So no problem in continuing the same habits. Okay, clean your teeth, clean your wounds, apply Dettol, apply antiseptic so that the wounds do not become worse. Okay, bathe regularly. Okay, if you're a sports person, you will tend to sweat a lot. Okay, so you guys, those who are sportsmen, need to take a bath at least twice in a day, otherwise bad body odor. Avoid using a lot of perfumes and roll-ons, children. You can, but however, too much will clog the pores in your body, which can be dangerous, which can create health problems. All right, change undergarments. Undergarments are something which are in direct contact with your body parts. Okay, they kind of cling to your body thoroughly. So if they cling to your body, the skin secretes a lot of sweat, secretes a lot of oil, and then that kind of warmth in those areas give rise to bacteria and fungi in your body. So cleaning or changing your undergarments daily has to be a practice. Okay, then hair comb and clean. Okay, now at this age, you tend to meet a lot of people. They may have some kind of infection in their hair, in their skin, stuff like that. So you need to make sure you're reviewing these parts, and your hair and everything. Girls may develop lice, guys may develop dandruff in their hair. So you need to make sure you're shampooing it, or you're oiling your hair, or for a good scalp or something like that. Okay, is important. And take care of your eyes. Minimum screen time. Wash your eyes. Okay, and girls need to avoid putting this kajal and everything which comes in direct contact with your sclera. Okay, these eyelashes, mascaras and everything, they need to be a little aware about, because eyes are a sensitive part of your body. Okay, if spectacles are required, do wear them. Okay, stress. Now, to deal, this age is really stressful. Lot of things going on outside, lot of things going on in your body, lot of things going on in your head, lot of things going on in your heart as in emotionally. Okay, so this kind of gives an adolescent a lot of stress. How can one release stress? By exercising, by doing yoga and meditation, by reading. Reading is a fantastic activity. It gives you to read different genres of books. Your vocabulary develops, your ideas develop, your confidence to speak, your knowledge develops. Read the newspaper. It tells you what's going around, not only in your area but in the world. You need to be aware to be well spoken. Okay, then get organized, children. You can't be waking up at any time, feeling lethargic, walking out of the house when your friends call. You need to have a timetable. Okay, if you're thinking, like we just read, children are thinking about their future, what they want to become. So the first step to thinking and their future is getting organized. And then practice a hobby. Do what you like. Girls may get into dancing and singing, boys may get into learning a musical instrument, things like that. Pick up a hobby, which children at this age love to draw, paint, create, and most importantly, think positive. Very important, children. Positive thinking is extremely, extremely important. You can't be negative. You can't be in depression all the time, children. So, positive thinking is important. So, children, that was about this chapter of endocrine system and adolescence. Let me see what have we learned. Okay, I have a small question bank out here. Okay, let's see what it is. Okay, my first question says cortisol hormone is secreted by medulla of adrenal, cortex of adrenal, pancreas, or thyroid. Cortisol, so cortex. Yes. Which one of the following hormones stimulates the breakdown of glycogen in the liver into glucose? Breakdown of glycogen. What is glycogen? Stored glucose. Okay, stored glucose is broken down by stored glucose is broken down by glucagon. And where is it done? In the liver into glucose, C6H12 H12O6. So this breaks down. Okay, then which one of the following hormones converts excessive glucose into glycogen? Tell me, children, what converts extra glucose to glycogen? It is insulin. Chalo, let's match the columns. Okay, cretinism happens due to oversecretion, undersecretion in sufficient iodine in food. Yes, children? Yes, correct? No, children, it's not that. It is a cretinism is due to abnormal development in infant. Yes, abnormal development in infant. So if I number this as 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, this is A, B, C, D and E. So 1 matches with B. What about diabetes mellitus? Diabetes is always related to insulin, so it will be 2E. Chal. Increased metabolic rate. So we are done with this. We are done with the increased metabolic rate. It is in oversecretion of thyroxine. So it's 3C. Okay. Then simple goiter. Goiter always related to iodine. So 4D. And then growth hormone. Pituitary gland is a growth hormone. So it's 5A. Alright, children, the period of dash is known as adolescence. 11 to 19 years, 5 to 10 years, 30 to 40 years, or 22 to 28. It's 11 to 19 years of age. Okay, then we have dash control the changes occurring during adolescence. It's hormones, enzymes, limbs, or none of the hormones. Yes. Then this hormone is responsible for secondary sexual characteristics in male. So it is testosterone. Yes, children. hope I was able to teach this chapter properly and give you better clarity on various aspects of endocrine system and adolescence. That's all for today, children. Thank you and God bless you all.